So last year, Osgood Perkins made Longlegs, which featured a Nicolas Cage looking like a crazy evil doll man singing. He then thought, how can I go even weirder than that? And then he did it with The Monkey. Welcome to Box of Chocolates, where you never know what you're going to get. Today you're getting my opinion on The Monkey, the new film from Oz Perkins, who I was not a fan of until Longlegs. I just didn't vibe with his style, and even Longlegs I thought was incredibly overhyped. Scariest movie of all time shit. No, but I did overall enjoy it. This seemed like it was going for something pretty different. It's also based on a Stephen King short story, so I was definitely curious to see what direction Oz Perkins was going to go in next. How did it turn out? Weird. Reactions to this are going to be all over the place. If somebody tells me they loved it, or it's like one of the worst things they've ever seen, I would completely understand both of those reactions. But let's get into the things that I liked about The Monkey. First of all, this kind of feels like a classic Stephen King story. You've got these young twin brothers, they have this evil object that they can't seem to get rid of. It is haunting them, it is causing the deaths of people around them. They eventually grow up and it's haunting them again as adults. And the way that it works is you wind the monkey's key, it bangs on its little drum, and it basically causes a final destination death scene to happen. Whatever is near the person that can go haywire will kill them in crazy, bloody ways. So I kind of liked the feeling of mixing a Stephen King story, which at first does not take place in Maine, but then the characters move to Maine. Goddamn, Stephen, there are other places in the world. But you got that kind of vibe mixed with a Final Destination feeling, and these kills are the highlight of the movie. It's almost worth seeing, even if nothing else in the movie would work for you at all. It's almost worth it just for the death scenes. They are so much fun. It's so much fun when you don't know what's going to happen. Like, oh, the monkey's doing its thing. That means something is going to cause a death to this person, and you don't know what it's going to be, and you're just waiting to see what sets them on fire or stabs them or gets shoved down their throat or causes them to explode. And sometimes you do know exactly what it's going to be, and you're just waiting for the moment it happens, because they're very bloody, they're very ridiculous and over the top, some great effects. Even when there's some CGI, it looks pretty good, and the movie's like ridiculous tone and the over-the-top nature of the kills made me not mind when there was CGI. And there are a lot of them. There isn't a long period of time where we're just like hanging out and talking. It definitely knows what you're there for, and it gives you a lot of it. The kills were a ton of fun. I really like the performances. Theo James is really good here. This is like the best I've seen from him. Possibly he is playing both of the older twin brothers. One of them is much more quiet and mild-mannered, and he is distancing himself from other people in his life so that he does not put them in danger from the monkey. And then the other one is like a crazy asshole, and he plays both really well. He was really believable. I really liked seeing him. I was kind of unsure about some aspects of the movie in the beginning because we were with the children and the child actors were not quite as capable of delivering some of this odd dialogue that's featured in this. But as soon as we were following Theo James, I started liking it a lot more. And then the supporting cast is really good as well. He has a young son who's with him, who they could have easily made like a stereotypical, I hate you, dad. And he would actually have good reason for that, because his dad never spends any time with him, and we understand why that is. But the kid actually wants to get to know his dad. He wants to spend time with him. He's wondering why his dad doesn't seem to care for him that much. And so I actually liked the bond that developed there. You understand why he can't be with him, and you understand the child's feelings. Any resentment that he feels is warranted, and he wasn't annoying or anything, and it would have been so easy to make him that way, but I liked his performance as well. Elijah Wood is in the movie. I wish he was in it more, because he was funny, but he's in it for like a minute. There's a few other supporting roles, like Tatiana Maslany. Oz Perkins himself is in the movie for a little bit, and so everybody was really good. Just like it doesn't lean into the annoying teenager thing, it also doesn't lean into other horror tropes that it so easily could have. You know, we don't get the scene where, like, I gotta go to the library and investigate where the monkey came from, and I have to go find the person who had it before me, and I have to ask them what happened, and then that person is gonna die. You know, that scene. The scene that's in 97% of all horror movies that you roll your eyes at every time it happens. I mostly like the way the movie handles its story. There's a monkey, it's evil, I guess. fuck. What do you do? And it's just chaos. Kills, kills, kills. As for some of my mixed elements, the story structure is a little repetitive at times. You can kind of tell it was based on a short story because for a while it's like the monkey causes this person to die, and then this person, and then this person, and it feels like we're just kind of going through the motions. But if you're gonna do that, it is best that they dragged out the runtime with kills rather than like lame character drama that we really don't care about and we're really not there for. But it does feel like it is a little bit dragged out. You can kind of tell that the original story was shorter. The main mixed element is the humor. This is going to make or break the movie for a lot of people. A lot of people are not going to like this. I would venture to say most people. A ton of people are going to walk out of this saying, what the hell was that? What did I just watch? The humor is very strange. There are some great jokes. I had some great laughs. There are some good moments of editing. There are some good moments of setup and payoff where something is mentioned and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? That's weird. Huh? And then it comes back later, like during a death scene, and it's like, oh, that's why they set that up. How bizarre. There are some really funny moments, but it's like for every moment that I laughed, there was another one where I just sat there like, what was that? It feels very like irreverent, very much like Oz Perkins wanted absurdity to be the point, so he really didn't put a lot of effort into like tightening up the script and making it seem like some of these lines of dialogue would be completely believable. Like, I want it to be goofy, I'll just make it as goofy as possible. Every line that I think of, I'm just gonna throw into the script. It's like he's throwing darts at the dartboard, and you get a few bullseyes. You get a few that land on like 12, but then you got a bunch that hit the wall around the dartboard, but then he puts all the darts into the movie anyway. Does that make sense? There are some scenes where it's just like, why is this person acting this way? It feels like he wanted it to be bizarre for the sake of being bizarre, and it feels a little bit forced at times. Like, okay, you're trying way too hard to be strange and quirky. Just let it flow naturally. Maybe tighten up the script here and there, because some of these lines of dialogue and some of the delivery by the child actors especially, it just comes across as clunky, and you could feel like the aura in the theater of people not knowing how to react at times. Like there'll be a slight chuckle, but it's an awkward chuckle of, that was clearly supposed to be funny, but what? But then there are also some genuine laughs, and so every time there was one of those jokes or just awkward pieces of dialogue that sounded weird, it was so disheartening because like I was really into the kills. I'm enjoying the performances. Some of it is really funny. It's just so intentionally absurd. But then you got some of the comedy that's just really bad. I've seen some people say the movie is tonally confused, like it didn't know what it wanted to be. I actually don't agree with that at all. I think this movie knows exactly what it is, which is stupid. It's being intentionally very stupid and over the top and goofy the entire time. It absolutely knows that it is that. Yeah, there are a few moments of sentimentality, but they are moments, and they kind of have to be there because these are characters. They do care about what's happening around them, and so they're gonna be there, and they work just fine in my opinion. But it's definitely going for ridiculousness, and it just all depends on how much that humor works for you. Some of those moments that are just strange for the sake of being strange just kind of took me out of it. But I feel like if I go back to the movie, if I revisit it, I might be able to kind of vibe with its wavelength a little bit more because I can kind of settle into it like, okay, I get it. I get what you're going for here. It's weird. I can accept that. It might bother me less over time because it's only 90 minutes long and the kills are so fun and it just has a completely fun, absurd time with its concept. I could see myself revisiting it. It has personality, I will give it that. I don't completely gel with its personality, but I have to respect, on some level, Oz Perkins just saying, I'm gonna do whatever I want. It's weird. A lot of people probably won't like it. And so I at least respect that it does have that unique feeling to it. So even though a lot of the comedy doesn't work for me, it does make it a little bit more memorable in certain ways. I'm gonna give The Monkey a 4, but it's a light 4. It's not like an enthusiastic 4. If you really like Oz Perkins and you really want to see him be just goofy as all hell, you think you could get on with this movie's strange sense of humor, then you might love it. But be cautious, depending on what type of horror fan you are or what type of comedy you like, because a lot of people are going to hate it. I wish some of that comedy would have been tightened up because it would have made the whole experience better. It's gonna be weird if I ever try to show this to somebody, because I'm gonna be like, I know some of this line reading is odd. There's gonna be some blood. Just sit through it. But I could see myself revisiting it, so it is actually one of my favorites so far this year. There have not been many movies so far this year that I've really liked. This is in my top 3. Another one of my top 3 also features a monkey. Interesting. But that is all I have to say about that. I wish the movie had been even better. I think it could have been, but I did get a weird enjoyment out of it. It is going to stick with me. I am going to want to see it again. Leave your thoughts down in the comments, no matter whether you agree or disagree. We can talk about the kills and the weird tone and genuinely the kills, because there were some really good ones. I want to talk about all your favorites. So let's talk about it in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more from me. Captain America review should be out pretty soon. Also, The Gorge. Hopefully that'll be good. We shall see. Paddington also comes out this week. I already posted a review for that if you want to check that out. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.